shake, rattle, and troll.
It's time for the award-winning Shake, Rattle, and Troll. A show for the serious fishermen as well as the novice looking for tips from the pros. Shake, Rattle, and Troll brought to you by Bill Lute Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. I-17 and Camelback Road since 1927.
We got the power, we got the speed. We're running wide open on a midsummer breeze. Freshwater, saltwater, watch out, boys. Bass Daddy Don's gonna make some noise. It's me and the boys gonna shake, rattle, and
Now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm Don McDowell. Welcome to Shake, Rattle, and Troll. We've got a house full today. We've got JK back from the 3A3C, was it?
Correct.
20C, something.
3A, 3C Elkhart.
Out in the woods at large. Derek Franks, the striper snatcher, is in the house.
You say that very slowly. Nice. You notice
We're getting slower.
Yeah, that's one of those tongue twisters that will get you in the principal's office.
Definitely.
That quick.
Yep.
Good stuff. We're going to start off kind of doing a wrap-up on the saltwater season. We've got Captain Bill from the Malahini Sport Fishing Vessel on the line from downtown San Diego, where the weather is always nice. Captain Bill, good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. I wish the weather was always nice. It's not the case this morning.
Really?
Oh gosh, it's foggy. It's it's cold. Kind of strange. And,
really?
After a whole.
Captain Bill, define cold, please. What is cold to you?
When I have to put on a jacket and put on a pair of long pants, it's cold.
I rest my case.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. You have a good day. Wow.
You are such an evil man.
He
That
is
funny.
You know? Well, that's all good stuff. You know, we've had a pretty good tuna season this year. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the overall season?
Well, I can't rate it. It's not over with yet.
Really?
They're still catching yellowfin out at Tanner. Unfortunately, yeah, they had the Tribute, the Invicta, the Eclipse have been fishing the Tanner Bank for the past week and a half, and pretty much limits every day.
Well, we're seeing the numbers of fishermen starting to drop off. The fish are still holding, but the guys aren't coming. I'm not quite tracking on that.
It's typical. Everybody's in. It started about the first or second week of October. Everybody gets into Thanksgiving and Christmas mode. I say it every year. We actually run out of fishermen before we run out of fish.
Well, I think that's a true statement. J.K. just played Santa Claus a couple times this past week. Did you know that, Derek?
No, I didn't.
Ho, ho,
I didn't.
ho.
That would have been an opportunity there.
One more time.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, man. That poor little kid.
Bad Santa 2.0.
Yep, they're Santa Claus at the Holiday Inn Express. Go figure.
That was at the McDowell Casino. That's where that was.
Oh, baby.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, I do it for the employees of the casino. I'm their designated Santa. And I actually have a ball doing it.
Fun stuff.
That's definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
Supposed to be doing something like that for the Urban League here in San Diego.
Ooh, I could do
Being a
that.
Santa
I could do that
Claus,
for
I'm
the.
like, yeah, I don't know about this, but okay, yeah, it'll be fun.
I could do that for the tuna fleet.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah. They're just a big bunch of kids with really big boats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you guys
exactly.
have had a stellar year, with all the tuna being caught on the 3/4 day trips. Any thoughts on that?
We've been blessed. For 6 years of mediocre at best, fishing wise for yellowtail and rock cod, things like that. It's been steady every year since I've owned the boat. But to have a season like we had this year, honestly, it's the best I've had in 7 years of owning a Malahine.
That's awesome. How long do you think the fish are going to hang this year?
Gosh, that I don't know. The water's still 66 degrees, and it's December.
Yeah, Captain, we've got a real bad connection. You kind of drifted. You drifted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. No, I said, it's been a really good season. The water's still 66 degrees in some areas around the Coronado Islands. I haven't seen it drop to 62 since January of this year.
As anglers, we try to mind blast this whole deal, figure out, the weather patterns, the moon phases, this phase, that phase, and is there any correlation in your mind to the jet stream swinging down the way it has been to keep the current in close?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say so. I would have to say so. If you look at the jet stream that's coming down from Alaska, that sweet, that typically runs on the west coast down and up, it hasn't pushed past San Francisco yet. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. We watch that. We try to figure out what's going on over here weather-wise. We've got an awful lot of, conservation issues. Roosevelt, we've been praying for extra water that we really need to defuse the golden alga bloom and the oxygenation and add nutrient into our lakes over here. And we're getting it slowly but surely. Late August, early September, we had 2 100-year storms, almost back to back. They were about, a week and a half, 2 weeks apart, and we got an inordinate amount of water, in a matter of a couple of days. Glendale, as an example, in an hour and a half had about 6 inches of water, just all at once.
Wow.
Yeah, we're just not geared for that, but, the good news is, if we're getting drenched in town, the reservoirs are starting to fill, and I think really dodged a bullet on not having a golden alga blow up on the Salt River Lake chain. So we're too blessed as well.
It's typical of an El Nino year. It's typical of an El Nino year that we start to experience these strange weather patterns. We've got supposedly 3 storm fronts back to back moving in from the northern Pacific, coming down from Alaska and things like that. Will it materialize to do anything to San Diego? That still remains to be seen. But the last the last cold front we had moved through here, it rained for 2 days. It wasn't heavy rain, more like a mist, if you will. I'm sure some areas of San Diego got, pretty decent rain out of it. But we didn't. I was kind of bummed at first, but okay, fishing's still good, so no more rain, please.
Yeah, I get that. The weather patterns, you can have, pretty nasty weather, and then 25, 50 miles offshore, you've got pretty good weather. How's the fishing been in the past couple of weeks, for your boat?
We got off the dock, we're typically getting off the dock 3 to 4 days a week, something like that. And every time we go out, we catch yellowtail. I think we've had 2 days where it didn't bite all that well for us, but other than that, 99, 61s, 103s, things like that. I think fishing is still phenomenal. I'm really, really surprised by it.
Well, maybe it'll go, on into the end of the year and kind of hold. And sometimes we see a lot of home guard yellowtail just kind of hang out all year long, and hopefully that'll be the case where you guys can be on fish till the next batch pops up about April.
I do believe so. Like I said, last year we started fishing yellowtail in January. We were off offline till the 15th of this month, and then we're back online for the Christmas, vacation type for all the kiddies that want to go fishing and this, that, one thing, the other. Then we haul out on January 5th, and we're out until probably, I would say, the 20th. And then we're back in the water finishing up our maintenance for a week after that, and then we're back online again.
Yeah, that's a short break. Do you guys get involved in any of the whale watching and wine tasting, that kind of thing?
No, we don't. That's hopefully the beginning of our rock cod season.
Okay.
But if the yellowtail is still biting, chances are we won't have much of a rock cod season this year neither.
Crazy.
I've got guys that call up and ask me, "Hey, when are we going to start rock cod? When are we going to start rock cod?" Because we have developed a nice little following of guys who that's all they do is rock cod fish.
Yeah, that's some hardcore stuff. Wow.
It's fun.
Yeah. That's not my idea of fun.
Hey, whatever floats your boat.
I enjoy rock codding. You know why?
Yeah, you get a paycheck. That's why.
That, and it's what we call the easy button.
All right. Hey, we're going to kick you loose. We're getting a bad transmission, and we got to flip into a break. God bless you, Captain Bill. We'll be in touch with you next week.
All right, Don. Have a good day.
All right,
Talk to y'all later.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Captain Bill on the Malahini, hmlanding.com. Check him out. Apparently, you can still go catch yellowtail, JK.
There's always hope for me.
All right, we're going to flip into a break. Thanks so much. Sponsors come back with Derek Franks and the Special K. We'll be right back.
Brother, it's a long road from Amistad to Toho.
All righty, we're back. JK?
Yes, sir.
What kind of success did you have on your elk adventure?
Before I get into that, the audience can't see us, which is really thankful for most of the times that we're together.
I don't know. That's a pretty dandy camo shirt.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot all about that. Yeah, they can on the webcam. However,
webcam.
If anybody wants to take a look at the Bass Daddy today, he is what I will absolutely define as resplendent in his new uni. Mm-hmm. He either looks like a Border Patrol agent, but what it says across the top is the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. He has his name tag, he has his title, he has everything, and he is decked out. He is going to a parade. He's going to toss babies and kiss women or do something, but I'll tell you, I have never seen anything like it. The man who shows up here in shorts and on occasions old army boots or thongs, this is unbelievable. Anyway, you look fabulous, Bass Daddy.
We should be in his entourage the rest of the day.
I prefer to be in the wake.
After the show, we are headed, and I was going to say this till later, but we may as well throw it out there. We'll be out at ASU Stadium, not to play football, but to visit with the Arizona National Guard. 7,200 members of the Guard will be in the stadium at the muster this afternoon. After that's over with, there's a outdoor expo in the parking lot.
Really?
Yeah, we have the Shake, Rattle, Troll truck and bass boat there. We have the M923A2. Will be on hand. The 5-ton Davis Spars is bringing the Deuce and Half with the 26-foot Boston Whaler patrol boat.
Wow.
We are in uniform.
So that's your hot date for today, then?
Yeah, throwing guardsmen in the air.
Okay. You look great. I mean, I'm just so impressed because I've never seen him in anything that is quite that ensemble.
It was quite a push. I think the last time I had a uniform on was Cub Scouts.
It's the same color as the Cub Scouts were.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We got a big Cub Scout here.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Still got my Cub Scout utility knife. Right here in my pocket.
I'm just impressed. I mean, for somebody who sat across from you for a lot of weeks, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I had a long talk with Captain Dave and some of the guys up at the department on the enforcement side of life, and our waterways are not a safe place.
No.
We're talking about, to being proactive in that, and you see it all the time. One of the problems that we have on the waterway is, we have young people, not that I started driving a boat early in life, and albeit my granddad didn't say, okay, have fun, don't wreck the boat and come back. There was, a mentor in the boat with me, and we didn't have jet skis, and too many times you have kids 12 years old, in that range driving jet skis. And my question to those folks is, would you let your 12-year-old son drive your Corvette around the block?
I wouldn't.
No, and that's the thing. I think the boating safety courses are useful.
Are you going to have to spend weekends now out there and occasionally doing your...
We're going to be doing weekends during the week, strategic weekends.
Okay.
Doing our thing, trying to educate the public. There's a lot to be said for what these guys do. I'm looking at Dave Esparza and becoming familiar with the routine and what all the ribbons and the stars and the bars and all that kind of stuff means. He has had 5 commendations for 7,500 hours each.
Whoa. That's a lot of time on the water.
It's a lot of time on the water, and and it's like the ADA or all these other organizations we belong to. 3% of the people are doing 97% of the work.
I know. Yeah.
It's like that. So, that being said, even though the flotilla has a large number of people, there are not a large number of Coast Guardsmen on the water.
You're not going to be taking the Bass Daddy rig out and wearing that uniform, though, correct? You're going to be you'll be on a U.S. Coast Guard auxiliary type boat.
No, I'll be on a patrol boat.
Okay.
And it, quite frankly, there's I thought it was okay, you join and da-da-da-da-da. Not wrong.
Yeah.
So far, he's got me in a crew class. You have to be certified to become crew, to be on the boat. You have to become certified as a coxswain to drive the boat.
Okay.
And then there's a vessel examiner test. There's an instructor class. So right now I'm enrolled in 4 things. And the instructor class, I think, is a 12-week ordeal.
Okay.
And, we're actually detached to Department of Homeland Security.
Oh.
The interesting thing about that is, in the case of a natural disaster, let's say Hurricane Andrew, Sandy comes to town, one of those kinds of things, we could be called up and go regular Coast Guard.
Oh, so you'd be going to those places?
Yeah, act of war. Yep.
I was thinking that maybe the Salt River would overflow or something. Do they have any guidelines in terms of, obviously the uniform is wonderful. Is there any guidelines in terms of the length of the blonde curls?
There's been some discussion about that. However, I didn't find that in the manual.
Oh, God.
Albeit the manual's about 2 inches thick. Thank you, JK.
And Derek, you can chime in. I'm not the only one who's allowed to rip him today.
I don't know what to say, really.
Yeah, I'll stab you right in the leg.
I'm sitting closest to him.
No, it's good stuff. So,
I appreciate for those people who are listening, seriously, he does volunteer a tremendous amount of his time, and this is a whole totally volunteer effort. You're not getting paid for any of this, and it's really cool to see you doing it. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We would like to invite you to come out to the muster.
Do I get ketchup for the muster?
There should, hopefully there'll be food vendors out there.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the 5-ton through the Duncan drive-through this morning, so we're not running on Duncan this morning like I like to. But
I noticed that. Where's the maple bars? What am I doing?
You've had pretty good success hanging out in the woods with various shooters and hunters on your elk quest.
We did.
How many in a row now is that?
Out of the last 10 hunters that I've helped, I don't guide, I help.
Help them.
9 have gotten bulls, and the one who didn't, he basically had at least 3 quality shots at under 40 yards archery. So, he recognized that was his issue. Not, certainly not that we didn't have them. The late season hunt, the one I did Thanksgiving Day after, and going forward, Rich Merchant from Crescent Crown, the Coors boys.
Nice.
He He passed on a rag bull opening day because he wanted a bigger one. He wanted to give it, some time towards
That's
that.
tough to do on the late hunt.
I understand there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many bulls left because they hit the reservation after being pounded by people so long. But on the second day, he missed one and then passed on a couple more rags, and then finally on Saturday night he took down a big spike. It was a 2-year-old spike, and we had him out of the woods in record time. He shot it at 4:30, and at 6:30 we were gone, packed out, done.
Wow!
It's the first bull that I have ever been with anybody on where we actually could drive within 50 yards of the animal. It was flat terrain. We were able to just carpet it, pull it out, and gone.
What a bonus.
Put a tarp down. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have to backpack it out, any of that. And I was thrilled.
Perfect.
Yeah, we had to drag my raghorn down the mountain, up the mountain. Oh yeah. I'm not built for that anymore. When we come back, we're going to find out what the I said it.
Uh-oh.
What Derek's been up to.
Yeah, it's easier to say.
Yeah, the striper snatcher. He's got some new rattle traps you need to know about. This is very cool. I'm Don McDowell, and you are
Derek Franks.
and
Special K.
indeed you are, sir.
The snowman was alive as he could be, and the children sang. I know I don't want her. I swear that.
All right, and we're back talking with Derek. Derek, congratulations on your pro staff position with Rattle and Rattle Trap. You've got a new bait. Give us a little bit of your thoughts on why you designed this particular bait this way.
Well, first off, Rattle Trap's always been a good staple of a bait. But what I like to throw now is something really versatile, and it's made by Cactus Rent Outdoors, and it's a wavy tail swim bait. And
I don't want to talk about those. I want to talk about this Rattle Trap.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We'll talk about Rattle Trap first.
Come on. Stay with me on this.
Well, what I like about Rattle Trap is you can catch anything off of it, and that's what I like to do.
Can you hit a 1-iron?
I haven't golfed in a long time.
All right,
Okay.
back to the Rattle Trap.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you my headstone. It's going to say it. I've already got it picked out. I'd rather hook a fish than hook a golf ball, and that's the way that's going to work.
Okay.
There's another one of those play on words you got to be careful with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Rattle Trap's got a lot of bait that I didn't know existed until I got on the staff program, and they have a lot of opportunities for you to customize your baits.
A lot of stuff in the back of the book that ain't tell John Q. Fisherman.
Exactly. And it's okay to throw a bait that a fish has never seen and that your buddies don't own. It's okay to do that.
Particularly when they start smacking it.
Yeah, because, the bass and saguaro, they've seen more baits than a Walmart teller.
Oh, man.
So it's, you got to be unique out there. It's okay to fish a new spot, too.
I'm sorry.
Well, here's the
baits
deal.
than a Walmart teller.
Checker, yeah.
Really?
An express lane at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
My man right here.
He's been seeing too many photos of Walmart shoppers.
Well, I tell you, if you hang out at Walmart, I think it's going downhill.
Bless their hearts, though.
Yeah.
We apologize to Walmart.
All right.
They are not the sponsor.
You
No.
hang on. If you need something, where do you go?
Sportsman's Warehouse.
Bass Pro.
Is that bad?
It's sucking up. There we go. All right.
It's on the way. It's on
Good.
the way. I stay
on the way to
hooked
the
up.
lake.
Yeah, and then I catch a few clients in the parking lot while I get my bait. And
Okay.
so I do that. But my latest thing is I get my bait in the mail through Cactus Rent Outdoors. So I don't have.
You're going to work them in one way or another.
I'm
right?
going to work them in.
Boy, he's on it.
I'm going to
He
work
is.
them in. I'd rather.
All right, let's talk about Cactus Wren, please.
Yeah.
W-R-E-N.
For starters, they're a small bait company, and I like to help the small people because I'm small. And I like Rattle Trap,
You're not
too.
talking vertically challenged. You're talking
No.
small business.
Small business.
Thank you.
And it's fun to be able to work with a new company and get something tailored to your color specs, because when I'm out there, I'm throwing all this stuff color-wise and size and all that. But what I don't like to do is go to a retail place and them not have my bait color or size and all that.
Obviously, they don't know who you are.
They don't know who I am, but the deal is when I... this is what I'm starting to figure out. Whenever you tell someone what you're using and where you're going, you're going to catch less fish and you're not going to have your bait retail available. So that's kind of the repercussions I'm starting to sow for myself.
This
here.
is just the promulgation of all fishermen lie.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, here's how you shop.
I need to be a more accurate liar.
It's Sportsman's Warehouse. You go into the soft plastic bait section, and you look for the empty hook. That's the bait you're looking for.
Yeah. And that would be any kind of paddle tail swim bait that I would condone. Those are gone. And so now you're using a color you're not too confident with, and like you say, confidence is everything.
It is. Absolutely. Did you design this particular profile?
No, Cactus Wren did, but I really was meticulous on the new size and the color. Because I'm real strategic with the color on Lake Pleasant.
That's another word for the SRT dictionary. Meticulous.
Meticulous. Yeah. That's a cross between meticulous and articulate.
Yeah.
He's meticulous.
Because I've got a very small window of opportunity when I'm out there, and I want to be throwing what I feel like would be giving me the most confidence. And for me, it's...
there's not a shortage of confidence in anything that you do.
No.
You know that.
Well, you have to be confident because the people that are paying you have got to feel your mojo, and
I've watched you on the water.
I got to be electric out there.
You do flog the water well.
Yeah. I've got to keep my electricity up. I feel like I can be the Deion Sanders of the guide business, with the over.
It's not your apparel, my man. It's not your apparel, and that's what most
Next
of the
thing you know,
was.
he'll be opening a bait shop in Ferguson.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'll do is I'll end up towing a raft full of apparel to sell and. Swag.
No.
Towable swag store here. A little kiosk, floating kiosk. No.
You know what? That's a first. We have to think about that. I have never seen a floating kiosk. Can you imagine one of those out on Lake Pleasant in the middle of the summer?
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
Whoa.
Now that's a whole nother tricky domain we can come up with.
There's some licensing logistics.
We'd have to talk NEPA. We'd have to talk ESA. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plenty of boundaries to be set for us here.
All right, so for the listenership, describe this bait.
Okay, well,
hold it up to the camera, and you can click on the website.
There you go. On the website, you can see it.
Okay, yeah, it's the website's cactuswrenoutdoors.com, and on the home page, they've got a striper snatcher swim bait, which is a wavy tail, 5-inch model, I believe, is what we're looking at. But they're also coming out with a little smaller one because I like to throw a smaller profile earlier in the year just to match the size of the bait.
Match the hatch. That's important, That's the fly fishing thing. Come on.
I went fishing with a tournament bass angler on my boat recently, and he didn't have the same opinion I did on stuff like that.
The philosophical differences.
Yeah, because bass fishermen, they're going to throw stuff that is bigger normally in size. They're going to throw a bigger diameter line or braided line or whatnot.
It's male insecurity.
It is, yeah.
And the problem would be?
It just doesn't match the profile of the bait. The problem with Pleasant is you've got to be really meticulous. That's my word of the day. And it's easy in that crystal clear water to throw a big bait, big line, too big of gear. And I do the opposite. Downsize. Yeah. I'm throwing a 6-foot rod with 8-pound fluorocarbon and a $50 budget combo for and it smokes the striper and the largemouth and the white bass. So it's okay to throw a small rod and reel.
Now, where are you getting these lead heads?
I get these at Sportsman's Warehouse. I don't have a lead on a head that.
Pass it on. Let me see that lead head.
It's a half ounce.
It's a significant weight. There's no doubt
here's
there.
the deal.
I was looking at the eyes. I think the 3D eyes when you're throwing a lead head are paramount.
Yeah.
It may be one of those confidence things.
Yeah.
But
we got paramount and meticulous now.
I use 2 different size heads, and I'll talk about the weather too. But the water temp has been in the mid 60s, and the weather's been super consistent. You get a south wind that congregates all the components you're looking for in the northern coast that I like so much. But then we had a front, and everything was opposite. The wind's blowing out of the north all day.
I'll tell you what, Lake Pleasant, and you can write this down. If it's blowing off the Bradshaws, you may as well load your boat.
Yeah. Well,
go to Dunkin' Donuts.
I had to do a plan. Plan A obviously wasn't working during the Sky trip. They weren't in the shallow water. They had pulled out, and I found those fish in 20 foot of water, keying on structure, which striper usually aren't structure oriented, but these jokers were hung over a ledge, and we
suspended with a case of lockjaw.
Suspended, and you can catch them, but it's not beginner friendly.
No,
it's a labor.
It's labor intensive, but
that's crazy.
The half-ounce head will get you a faster drop rate. So in that 10-knot north wind, you'll actually at least give them a chance to see it. If you're using a light tackle, they'll never see it.
Next time we get together, I'll bring you what's called a blam. That's a sand bass, calico bass bait that's real similar to this. And in fact, it looks like Hispanic Fiesta banner. It's got all Mexican colors, green and orange and red and purple, and you pick it up and go, what the hell are they thinking making
I'd
this?
eat that.
Yeah, so I'm out on the boat with Captain James, and he pulls one of those out, puts it on, and he goes to sticking fish. And me, I'm kind of embarrassed to have it on my hook. Finally go, okay, you got an extra one of those?
Yep.
Answer was no.
I like to take lures like that in saltwater because you never know what's going to...
Saltwater's a whole different game.
Yeah.
They'll eat damn near anything.
I was throwing swim baits in the San Diego Bay when I first went this time last year.
Yeah.
And I caught fish. I have no idea. I still don't know what they were. Fishing near the kelp beds with a swim bait.
Sand bass.
Yeah.
Sandies.
Caught a few of those, but then I started catching some weird fish. Some that were real long and didn't have a very tall profile, and they had joining their dorsal fin and their tail fin was all one piece.
Kind of snaky looking and really slimy.
Yeah, and they were like an orangish, reddish color.
Yeah, don't try to eat them. They're nasty.
Yeah, catch and release.
Can we have a name on those?
Yeah, I don't know. They call them a dogfish. Yeah, they're out there, but they're more of a nuisance fish. You get out around the subtending base, a lot of big calico bass out there.
Yeah.
And bumping baits on the bottom every once in a while, you get a nice halibut.
Yeah.
Some nice steaks. But anyway, we're going to come back and keep visiting with Derek and Special K. And unfortunately, we've got 3 soldiers fallen in battle this past week. We'll tell you about that when we come back. I'm Don McDowell.
Special K.
Derek Franks.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back.
Catfish, boogie, woogie, boogie, woogie, boogie, woogie. Catfish, boogie, woogie, boogie, woogie, boogie. Woke up this morning about 4:30. Who'd I see tiptoeing across my floor? My ever-loving baby with a rod in her hand, heading for the creek called Catfish Land.
There you go. Right
Yeah,
there.
baby.
Yeah, we'll have the catfish guys down here, Bobby Wright and ACCA, the next couple of weeks talking about what they're doing. They've got a whole bunch of big catfish being caught right now.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, good stuff,
I hear
buddy.
it's hot and pleasant right now.
Yeah, Pleasant's really surprising, a lot of people with the size of catfish that are being yanked out of that place. And,
Definitely.
what's the big striper up there? Still 56 pounds?
Something like that.
What's the closest you've come?
I caught one that was 30 inches about a month ago, and it was probably 7 pounds or something like that.
Can you imagine how big it
couple
would be?
foot of water.
56 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like catching a yellowtail.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're mean.
That's a strip off.
Are
and
you
run.
are you fishing at the pumps yet?
No.
Really?
I'm exclusively in the northern coast now, because my theory is a south wind
Pushes everything north.
Yeah, and it'll start about 11:30, 12 noon, and once the south wind starts to blow, those fish turn on in those northern coves.
It's predominant that we have that southwest wind almost universally.
Yeah.
Unless we have a front coming through, you're going to sit there and you're going to know that that's exactly where everything's blowing into.
Yes. And what I've also learned about striper fishing is it's not where, it's when.
Mm-hmm.
So, it takes a while to develop all the components you're looking for. The wind will shift at a certain time, and then everything will start to fall in place if it's your day. But right now, it's pretty easy to to snag one, whether if you're trolling or casting like I do.
Snag.
We don't snag. Snagging's a bad word. I've seen people do snagging, and it is the most amazing thing in the world.
The director orders thou shalt not snag.
I tell you what we have been snagging a lot of is, and it's about one a trip, is a carp off the swim bait.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh, boy.
those jokers are in there so thick in those northern coves right now. That algae bloom is in full effect, and they're gumming that algae, and you can see carp side by side, 40 of them, 40, 50, school of 40, and they're
And big ones.
big ones. And I see them on the sonar, and I'm like, God, this is a good opportunity because they're right behind me. I know I can get a bait on one.
You don't
And
want
one
to do
will
that.
whip it, and it's a carp. But the clients get fired up with a skinny rod with 8-pound line. They're fighting a 10-pound carp. So,
You know what? Whatever it is, pulling on your rod's a good thing.
yeah. But I will say that the white bass has been good this month.
And
last
tasty.
month. Yeah, so it's good. It's interesting how I don't catch them in the summer. I only catch them in the winter. It's weird, but go figure.
Really?
Yeah. It's a winter fish for me to catch.
Location, too.
Fishing up there with Jimmy Dwight at Apache on the NBC tournament. I caught every species in the lake except the catfish. First 5 fish, all different species.
You didn't have a recliner in the boat. That's why you didn't catch a catfish.
I didn't, but, I've got to get a hold of Flathead Ed. Chairman Commissioner Mansell wants to go flathead fishing with the
Flathead Ed.
Yeah.
And he's been having some good reports lately. I've
Yeah.
been reading his intel on game and fish. So
And
he's
you can
been
catch
putting
him
them
at the Walmart.
yeah, at the Walmart.
Yeah, it's all good.
He was
I
the
saw
original poster boy.
I saw
Yeah.
him coming out of the water the last time I was out. Gave him a wave. So yeah, he's out there. He's doing his.
He's
his
way
work.
out there. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Yep, just like Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
What's your next adventure, JK?
We've got the Sportsman's Expo that'll be coming up in February.
The war. Yep.
Yeah, that's. Although,
Does that interfere with the
well,
Javelina
wait a
season?
minute. You have committed to me that you and I will buy over-the-counter archery deer tags. We will drag bows and just annoy the crap out of everybody in the McDowell Sonoran Preserve.
I'm in for that. There is a meeting over there in Scottsdale on the 8th. I will have information.
That's tomorrow. Details, I know, but
Yeah,
I'd like to know
details,
what it's on.
yeah.
Are they trying to change it into a park?
I'm not sure what it is. Dr. Adishar Davasani, we'll see him today. My dentist lives out there. In fact, he's one of those backed up to the mountain.
Mm.
And he's a hunter, and he gets the hunting and fishing thing, and pretty annoyed at the javelina that are chewing on his.
My parents are
plants.
annoyed at the javelina that come right. I mean, they're on the McDowell Sonoran Preserve
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, anyway, there's some kind of another movement, a coalition to convert it from a preserve to some type of a conservation something.
I heard
And,
that they were going to try and turn. If you can send me the information, it's really critical that we be there. But certainly, I am planning on being out there on New Year's Day with all the happy hikers.
Funk.
Yeah, and I'm going to be in full camo, and we're going to be glassing, and I'm just dying to hear the comments as they go by us.
I'm in. You in, Pat? Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
we can have fun and annoy all the Scottsdalites.
What I haven't told Patrick is I put him in for turkey and javelina.
Mhm.
We got drawn.
Did you really?
Yeah, we got 6A or 6B for the Turks and 20C for the regular firearm season. Donnie and my son and my oldest granddaughter, she has her first tag, and Mason.
Oh, Mason's got to get a bird.
No, they didn't get turkey tags. They got javelina tags.
Javelina tags?
Yep.
I have an Archery 21 javelina tag this spring that I also was drawn for, and a turkey tag for May in Unit 23.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. I had 5 bonus points. I could have gone anywhere I wanted.
Nice.
Yeah, it was well worth the wait.
Now, do you do any hunting at all?
No, but I will like to chime in on this. When I guide on the lake, I see some Scottsdale-lights in their Hawaiian print shorts and flip-flops shooting shotguns at just whatever kind of wild birds that they have a tag for or whatever. And it's just,
Really?
it amazes me, yeah. It's like,
You
what
might
the
want to
hell?
call OGT on that. There just sounds like there's a violation in there.
Yeah, there's a violation in process.
It's just, I don't know. It's just weird.
Flip-flops and
it.
Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, the Hawaiian floral print shorts.
Oh, no.
Jams.
With a camo shirt and their shotgun.
Oh, there's some serious color coordination errors going on.
Yeah, probably size small.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we're going to roll into roll call this week. We've had 3 soldiers fallen in battle. Before December 7th, Army Specialist Joseph W. Riley died November 24th, 2014, serving during Operation Enduring Freedom, 27 years old, out of Grove City, Ohio. Was assigned to the 1st Battalion of the 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment, 3rd Brigade Combat Team of the 82nd Airborne Division out of Fort Bragg. He died in Kabul, Afghanistan, of wounds suffered in a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device attack.
Army Sergeant Major Wardell Turner died November 24th, 2014, serving during Operation Enduring Freedom. He was 48 years old, of Nanticoke, Maryland, assigned to the headquarters U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Drum, New York. Killed November the 24th in Kabul, Afghanistan, of wounds suffered in the same vehicle airborne improvised explosive device that killed Army Specialist Joseph Riley.
Air Force Captain William H. DuBois died on the 1st of December 2014, serving during Operation Inherent Resolve. 30 years old, out of Newcastle, Colorado, died on the 1st of December when his F-16 crashed near a coalition air base in the Middle East. He was assigned to the 77th Fighter Squadron out of Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina. They say the war is over in Afghanistan, folks. It's not. They're dismantling the forward base Leatherneck, and guys are still getting whacked over there. Apparently somebody didn't tell the Taliban the war was over. So that's the price of freedom. Think about that. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things for you. I'm Don McDowell. We'll be back.
A show for the serious fishermen as well as the novice looking for tips from the pros. Shake, Rattle, and Troll, brought to you by Bill Lute Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. I-17 and Camelback Road since 1927.
Yeah, we got the power, we got the speed. We're running wide open on a midsummer breeze. Freshwater, saltwater, watch out, boys. Bass Daddy Don's gonna make some noise. It's me and the boys gonna shake, rattle, and
Now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
All righty, we're back. Hey, thanks for hanging with us for the second hour of Shake, Rattle, and Troll. We've got Special K in here, as always, doing a great job on the elk hunting front.
Do we need to salute you, by the way? That uni on?
Carry on.
Negative. Carry on. They see, he's got that dictatorial thing going already.
Yeah.
You put a man in uniform and look out.
Yeah, so far I've been asked to fill a lady's car up and check the oil and wash the windshields. It's all good. Derek Frank, the striper. Snatcher.
Yes, sir.
I got this. Okay.
Only I
doing
have
good
blown it
now.
on the air. I said the word.
Man.
He was out of town that time. I don't think you caught
usually there's a pole involved, but that's a story for another time.
We cut loose during that show.
Yeah. Hey, joining us right now, a really good friend of mine, awesome tournament fisher, and just a really good guy, Barry Lewis from someplace in Texas. What are you doing, B-man?
How are you, Donnie?
You know what? Life is good today, my friend. Life is good.
Life is good here in Texas, actually. I'm about 9 miles from Lake Houston, and it's life is good.
We've got another Texas boy here, Derek Franks. His claim to fame is snatching stripers.
Mr. Franks, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing right. I'm about 20 miles from Lake Conroe.
Oh, nice. I grew up in Marble Falls, is where I did my
So you were over toward Austin, then?
Yeah, so I fished.
I think we can go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, you got
Dunkin'
old
Donuts.
home
We got
weekend. He's got
Texas
that
stories
draw
here.
going
Oh, man,
now.
here we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I fished on Lake LBJ and Lake Buchanan. It's kind of where I did, and then I also did some fishing in Gibbons Creek, was where I largemouth bass fish.
Yeah, I just we fished Fayette County last week, and had a bad day. We caught about 60.
Yeah.
So
A bad day.
I tell you, man, largemouth bass fishing in Texas is significantly better than it is in Arizona. There's not even a comparison.
Well, I think Donnie, we've known each other 19 years now, 18 years.
B, it's been a long time, buddy.
Yeah.
What 1998?
Was it that? I guess you're right. I guess it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
It's about 17 years ago, or something like that.
Yikes.
So, no, but everything's good here right now. It's a balmy 63 degrees, overcast skies. It's beautiful weather right now.
So. Barry, how would you categorize between you and Derek the main difference between bass fishing here and bass fishing in Texas?
To characterize it, there is no comparison. It's two completely different types of fishing. Arizona I related a lot more to California, Don, as you know where my roots come from there. There it's, 5-6 pound test line. When you and I fish tournaments and stuff, I'd throw that Mojo rig, and I was throwing like 6 pound test.
Yeah, he's the Mojo master right here. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, light line. We were talking about light line a minute ago of how important it is in these desert impoundments.
Well, when I was fishing with Don and I had a kind of a strange relationship. I would never throw a crankbait or a buzzbait, and he would never throw a worm. So, and it worked. And you know where I'm going with that one. Right?
There's reasons why, and we won't get into that. But
okay,
moving along.
I always, one of the main things that I learned a long time ago, coming from the West Coast and stuff like that, is line diameter. And people don't pay as much to line diameter as they used to. The smaller line diameters are less visible. Well, now with the fluorocarbon technology and the fluoro clear lines from P-Line and those guys, it makes a big difference. But, there's been times I remember fishing Lake Pleasant, and you can see the bottom at 40 foot.
Oh, easy, yeah.
Yeah.
And out here, Derek, you come out here and, if you get 3 foot visibility, it's extremely clear. The guys out here think it's extremely clear.
Definitely.
And,
all right, so, Barry, let me ask you this. I don't fish deep. What, if I have to fish 20 feet, that to me that's deep.
I know.
And I unfortunately had a technique of driving Barry absolutely crazy by putting the boat right up on the beach, in 2 feet of water and fishing out and up. What's deep back there in Texas to you?
4 feet.
Wow.
4 feet with heavy cover.
Yeah, well, have you ever Lake Houston? Well, it depends. That's what I like about Texas. You can go to Lake Conroe, and the deepest I fished, I pulled a 9 1/4 out in a tournament, and I was fishing this roadbed, and it was in 17 feet of water, and I was catching fish after fish after fish after fish. That went, on a wacky worm, then I'd go to a drop shot back and forth, and these tournament guys were just beating the dam to death. But they just, 17 feet's probably the deepest I've ever fished since I've been here. Right now, I went fishing on Lake Houston and the water temperature's fallen, but, in the wintertime, you'll fish. These are natural lakes, and I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, instead of an impoundment.
Correct. And a deep spot on Houston is I think the deepest spot on the lake down is 28 feet. And that's the riverbed. So, but, when, these fish will come up and they have nowhere else to go. So, you'll fish, we throw a wacky worm all year long in 3 to 4 feet, and that's deep. Find a 6 foot bank and it's loaded up. So
I miss all the cover. When you can imagine the look on my face going from Texas to Lake Pleasant, I was like, where the hell are the trees, boat docks, there is no visual cue.
That right there is why we have the grant requests out that we have. Mike Hoffworth just put some in for more reef balls, moss-back artificial structures, and the permitting process that we're going through right now with the Tonto National Forest folks to be able to sink these things.
Yeah.
We don't have habitat.
Yeah, and it's for a beginner bass fisherman, especially on Pleasant, there are no visual cues to make you think, oh, they're right there. But in Texas, there's always a boat dock or a tree line or something.
Most definitely. Whether it's hyacinths or water cabbage or tulies or or like I want to try to get Don to come out to go to Lake Houston with me and fish on this thing. It's called Lucis Bayou, and it's all cypress trees and cypress knees.
Nice.
And it's just, it's just like, when I first met it, it was, it's like your first day on the Delta when I took you up there, Don, it goes, what about there? What about there? What about there? What about there? What about there?
Surprise there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And it's the same thing for me. Texas has so revitalized my enthusiasm. I've been fishing bass since the middle 70s. And it's just revitalized my whole enthusiasm about it.
Now, back there on that slough you're talking about with the cypress trees, what kind of a snake population do you have in there?
Massive. Well, not just massive. They have. The other day we were fishing, and the hardest part for me was, coming from the left coast and stuff like that was, everybody would reach down and grab, and the net in the boat was common but not widely used. Out here, you don't reach in the water and grab a fish because you just never know if it's going to be a snake's going to be hung onto the backside of it. So they have these lizards that are about 6 foot long.
Wow.
And, sometimes they just decide to swim along, and if you're reaching down for a fish, they may grab your arm or something, so. But, there's definitely alligators in Conroe, not in Conroe.
Well, you don't see very many. One thing I learned coming from Texas.
JK's going to snap.
Is you don't see very many kayakers or float tubers in Texas.
No.
You do down in the, and that's another thing, about the diversity of the fishing. You can go down to Galveston and you just pull off the side of the freeway, and there's you get down to there's this giant open estuary.
Yeah.
And you just see cars lined up right off the freeway. Oh, there's a good spot to pull off, go fish, and stuff like that. And it's just for redfish. Or the other day I took a friend of mine out here, and we were fishing just right over on Highway 45. There's this little canal that goes under the bridge for the tidal flow, So he cast out by this little stump a 38-pound black drum.
Wow, those are huge.
And people were stopping and honking on the freeway, and he was pinned. Don, he was pinned like he had a big eye on up against the rail of the dock. He was pinned. This rod was.
Well, it seems to me you were out there when you first went to Texas, out there wading around and had sharks bumping.
That wasn't cool. But that's you go out there and I couldn't figure out why these guys have these. Yeah, well, these guys have these. I don't know. I can't remember.
Hey, hold that thought. We've got to flip into a break, Barry. Stay with us through the break. Hey, I'm Don McDowell here with
Derek Franks
and
Mr. Aversion to Snakes.
Yeah, big time. Hey, we're going to thank some of our sponsors, and we'll be back more with Barry Lewis near Conroe, Texas.
At dawn just to be out on the water. The weatherman said hot and getting hotter, but he didn't say nothing about it raining like hell.
Oh yeah, we've had those days. Hey, Barry Lewis from Conroe, Texas, joining us. Barry, how's the weather back there, man?
The weather back here is it's overcast today. Got a little rain yesterday. It's about 64 degrees, 65 degrees. Still humid, but we've got a wind out of the north. So
yeah, we were just talking about wind out of the north on Lake Pleasant. Seems to be driving Derek nuts.
Well, it changes so often. You got to have a plan B when you're fishing Pleasant, and you got to have a good exit strategy. That's what I've learned the most.
But Barry and I learned that fishing Lake Pleasant a number. I think that was 2001.
Yeah, that's when you stood on the boat and said, "Is that all you got?"
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's when we sang.
Mother Nature and that monsoon storm decided to show us what she.
The boat's sitting out here in the parking lot. It sank as far as it was going to sink.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, the back hatch cover was floating underwater. Every time it down to get out, I tried to get up on plain water, would pour out the back.
It was a bad day.
Baptism of fire out there, bro.
Well, that's the thing. Boating safety. There needs to be some common sense involved, and I didn't have any that day.
That day?
Yes, sir.
No, we were in tournament. We were in a tournament.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Yeah, when you get in a tournament,
Yeah.
Tournament validates all these crazy moves you can do.
Yeah, well, we were slugging it out, and oh god, wow.
Derek, when
Yes.
you get a chance, off when I hang up, ask Don to tell you about learning how to drive a bass boat on the Delta.
Oh, wow.
And we had ask Don about the I can't say it, but ask him about the OS moment.
Yeah,
Oh.
thanks, Barry.
And the tugboat. And
I forgot about the
Vessel
tugboat.
assist
Oh, man.
story. Oh, wow.
I'll tell you that. When we were going up to Sacramento into a place called Disappointment Slough, and those tugs up there, the San Joaquin River is fairly wide there, but these tugs are so heavy drafted that when they create a wake,
They're
the
seagoing
wake-
tugs, JK.
Oh.
These tugs throw a wake about 4 foot.
Oh.
And all I remember is when we hit that first wake, Don did good, and he went to roller coaster over the second one. And all I remember is the bow of the boat and me looking straight up in the air. And then, vertical.
I've done that.
We launched.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean,
The bad part about it is, it's funny now, but it was kind of life threatening.
No,
one
that
of
one
those
didn't bother me.
near-death experiences.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody does it at least
We
once.
torpedoed the next wave.
Yeah,
In
that
all
was
the
good.
water, the boat was kind of leaning to the starboard side, hit Barry right in the chest.
Literally.
I was dry.
My crazy story is talking about Texas. Is I launched out of Galveston in an 18-foot Ranger one time with a couple of buddies, and we intersected the Houston Ship Channel to get to a spot.
Ooh.
It was
Ooh.
it was brutal. I hit a wake that sent me Dukes of Hazzard airborne.
Nice.
I
They
mean,
do it there, especially in that ship channel, because that's like a major freeway.
Yeah, and I hit so hard on landing, I broke every man on the trolling motor when I
Yep,
hit.
been there, done that one. Yep.
It was brutal.
Well, ask Don about coming around that corner at about 70 and what was laying crosswise, drift,
Oh,
anchored
man.
up. I mean, everything went out the anchor, me.
Are you familiar with the term "Thank you, Jesus"?
As your airborne.
That was a "Thank you, Jesus" moment after we took out 100 yards of Thule's.
It's amazing how spiritual you can get when you're gliding across the water.
Barry, once again, accept my sincere apology for those two incidents.
No, that's no problem, man. We literally got to fish the Delta for 9 days. Even for me, that's a treat. Even though I live in Texas and I got some of the greatest fishing. I mean, the first weekend I'm taking Christmas off and I'm going to Lake Fork for 2 days,
Nice.
and I'm coming back and going to Rayburn. I mean, these are all within a few hours of my house. So
I'll have to
do
tag
that.
along on that.
Yeah, man.
Anytime. Well, anytime. I'll text on some pictures of where I've been fishing, but if I die and go to heaven, I hope it's like the Delta. I've never in my life.
I've heard so many good things about there. I've never been there. As a striper guide, everyone says that's the place to
Well,
Delta.
whether you're a striper or a black bass fisherman, my son, this is a true story. We were in Secret Harbor off the Sacramento River, and he flipped a black and blue jig underneath this overhang tree, and he hung a fish that literally, remember the Pro Craft they used to have, Don?
Yep.
Spun that around, and he was on the bow of the boat, and we were screaming down the river with him hanging onto this flipping stick. We landed it, and the striper was 53 pounds.
Good
Oh.
God.
Yeah, on a jig.
Yeah, he flipped it.
Wow.
Go figure.
He had to have the brace, and that's a true story. And we unhooked it, and I didn't have, at that time we didn't have phones with cameras in them, and I didn't have one in the boat, but I sure wish I would, because it took us both. I had the mouth, and he had the tail, and we lifted it up, and the thing was huge, and we had kind of a makeshift scale, and it was somewhere in the 50s. So, It was a huge fish. And black bass, anything you want, catfish, sturgeon, anything. Smallies. You can fish smallies, catfish, sturgeon, stripers, all in the same day.
Wow.
So,
What an awesome trip.
yeah, if it was.
I'd be hot for sturgeon. Seriously.
Yeah.
My brother does that, and he says he claims best that there is.
Yeah, well, it's the best eating fish I've ever had.
Yep, that's what I meant.
It's a fight. It's a fight.
Yeah. And you can't keep them unless they're over 4 foot.
That's an interesting place with the factor of the saltwater, all the considerations that you've got to make to pull off a good trip over there.
Well, Barry kind of hit it on the head. I made a smart aleck remark. He says, by the time you get back, you will have learned to drive your bass boat. Now I know how to drive this bass boat. I was wrong.
You did good. I mean, it was just.
Yeah, we got out of there alive on a couple of different occasions, which is, thank you, Jesus.
That's the good news.
Yeah, it was a great trip. But, by the same token, how these people do it, Lake Conroe, if you've never seen it, takes the basin of Lake Pleasant twice. Yes. And that's the basin for Conroe, from one side to the other side, from the north side to the east side to the west side.
Are you fishing a particular tournament trail?
I'm actually going to be fishing the Texas Tournament Trail in come January, and then I'm going to be fishing a local club tournament for Lake Houston Fishing Club, and they fish Lake Houston in Conroe. But that's between work. I don't. I live in like Don said near Conroe, but I work in Midland. I work in the oil field.
Oh, okay.
So I travel on weekends. From on Monday mornings over to Midland. And then I travel back on Friday afternoon. So
there's not any fishing near Midland, is there?
There ain't nothing.
I didn't think so. Not much.
Yeah,
there.
well, just
feral hogs.
Yeah, there's hogs.
You got Amistad and you got Falcon are within 5 hours, 4 hours.
Oh, really?
I've never been to Amistad, but I've been to Choke Canyon.
Yeah, well, then OHIV's not. I don't even know if there's any water, but you got OHIV to the east, and then you start getting in lakes. But as far as Midland goes, then you maybe go to Elephant Butte or one of those, but they got a nitro dealer in Midland. Why they have that, I don't know. It's the only boat shop in the whole between Midland and Augusta.
It's a good boat.
They build the best boat they can.
Yeah.
All right, B, we gotta get out of here, man. Thanks for joining us. Stay in touch. I love you, man. I'm sorry about the couple of incidences there on the.
No worries.
Okay, 3,
no worries.
One on Lake Pleasant.
All right, well, if you need me anytime, you can always call me down. You guys all take care and be safe out there.
Hey, God love you, man. Barry Lewis, guys.
Talk to you later.
Out of Texas. We miss Barry not being around here. He was a blast to fish with. Good guy. Hey, we're going to stand down. Thanks some of our sponsors again, and when we come back, the Rim Country Custom Rod Fishing Report with Master Rod Builder James Guggenauer and
Special K.
You're doing a fine job. I really like that shirt.
Thank you.
Is that a Sportsman
We
Warehouse?
can hardly see them.
Bass Pro.
Bass Pro.
Bass Pro.
We're
They
drawing
make the best
sand.
shirts that they can.
Yes, they do.
We're drawing the line in the sand here. StriperSnatcher.com.
Yeah. With a pole. We'll be right back.
Well, the morning's kind of damp. I'm not worried about cutting the grass. Left my truck at the boat ramp and my boat is full of gas. My old boss thinks I'm sick today. He won't have me to harass. 'Cause I'm out here on the river and he can kiss my big old bass. Kiss my bass.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, it's time for our Master Rod Builder, James Guggenauer from downtown Payson. Yep, where the weather's probably colder than it is here.
Just barely.
Yeah, nice. What's happening, Brother James?
Hey, good morning, Don. How are you today?
Life's pretty good. I want to thank you and Matt and Tracy. You guys did an awesome job last week. We appreciate that. We've had some pretty good comments for all the stuff you guys were talking about, so nice job.
Well, thank you. I was thinking on the way home that, you always sound so smooth on the radio, and I thought, boy, he's just, he got a voice for radio. But what the listeners don't get to see is your team that's behind you, between J.K. and Patrick and Jennifer whispering in my ear for 2 hours. It was just easy to get done.
Well, I have to, Jennifer is such a huge part of the production here. Did she give you the finger through the mirror?
Several times.
I get the 2 minute and 1 minute deal, and then she just smiles, and I know when she smiles, it's time to go to commercial.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, we did, we've got a commissioner dinner coming up, and, there's the Media of the Year award, like you say, you got to thank Jennifer and John and Patrick and JK's interesting. About 2.5 years ago, was it? He came down. I invited him to come down for the show one time, and that was 2.5 years ago. So it's a long time. He's added a lot, and we've kind of evolved into doing a lot of stuff other than just fishing.
Right.
So,
and we can't leave Doug Stricker out either. The Shake, Rattle, and Troll website, he directed me to.
Oh, Doug, absolutely. Doug, yeah, he does a phenomenal job.
So,
in fact, he'll be down here for the commission awards banquet. So we're looking forward to seeing Doug. So it's all good. Yeah, we'll have the whole family down there.
Hey, let me tell you about fishing on Roosevelt. We had that cold front that came through last week, and it kind of slowed things down a little bit. Experienced anglers even were having a tough time last week. And on top of that, the water coming into the lake, it's again really stained water, that chocolate-colored kind of water. Not quite as bad as the last time, but was down at the lake on Friday, and the chocolate water was clear down to the grapevine ramp on the salt
Really?
bank. Yeah, so, and the flows into the lake have really picked up. This morning, the Salt River is flowing at over 500 cubic feet per second. That's over 200% of its normal rate for this time.
Yeah, that's screaming.
So lots of water coming in there. We're still at 40% full, but I suspect that's probably going to change any day now to 41% full. And the temperature is cold on top of all that. Temperatures continue to drop in the lake. We're in the high 50s to the low 60s.
Wow.
Friday afternoon, about 3 o'clock, the water temperature was 61 degrees on the tonneau end, right into the middle of the lake down there. So guys are typically fishing deep diving crankbaits, and casting spoons are the choice baits right now. Some guys are using a drop shot and a flipping and pitching technique if they can find some warmer water.
How about jigs?
Yeah, in the afternoon, in the shallow areas in the back of the coves. They seem to be picking up a few, but it was just a tough week. When the weather's changing like that, it just always seems to impact. So, but the good news is the storm's kind of moved out. It's a nice, bright, sunny day here today, so hopefully things will settle down and it'll pick up a little bit later this week.
Good stuff.
That front that James just referenced really affected Pleasant as well. It's amazing how something like that, a system that large can really just knock your productivity down for a week or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's and I know there were a couple of tournaments on Roosevelt yesterday. I'll be interested to see what some of the weights were.
Uh-huh.
The other big news in rim country here is the U.S. Fish and Wildlife released their final environmental impact study. And, we're encouraging everybody at rim country to go read that thing. It's like 100 pages long, so it's a little bit boring. And, but the bottom line is they're predicting that there will be no impact to any herds or any economy or any tourism or nothing. There will be no impact. And right after the first of the year, they're going to do their final release, and we look for this spring that we'll start to have wolves planted in Payson from the pens where they're being raised.
Well, my personal opinion, unofficially, not representing any of the groups I belong to, those guys are smoking crack over there. They need to look at the Yellowstone failed model, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, and
hell, include Minnesota and Michigan, all of those places.
Well, any place there's a wolf, you look at this going in the south with the red wolf. That whole issue. It's just like, really.
Yeah, it's a disappointing thing that all the people who submitted inputs to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, it seems like all of those were disregarded. The only one that really seemed to have an impact was the threatened suit by the Arizona Game and Fish Department. That kind of got their attention.
Well, the CBD
already has filed suit.
Yeah, they've already filed suit. the commission meeting yesterday. Jim DeVos did a stellar job with the update to the commission. The commission voted unanimously to direct and continue to support the department and DeVos's efforts to maintain the 325 wolf population cap for both Arizona and New Mexico. The geographic range as defined by the cooperating alternative management plan, and this is long from being over with, James. We're going to be talking about this in the next 10 years.
Right, and I told this to Jim DeVos, enough credit, you can't give that guy enough credit. If it wasn't for his efforts and the support of the commission and the rest of the department, who knows where this issue would be. The other thing that we're kind of chuckling here, they have this either hybrid or wild wolf that's running around the Kaibab, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife is off trying to trap this thing. And we want to get word to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife that we've got some guys in Payson that have volunteered. We think that they could probably get that wolf for them in about 3 days, since they don't seem to be able to capture this wolf that's running around Kaibab.
Jim, just so you know, Fish and Wildlife has decided not to capture. What they've done is they've gotten scat, and they've analyzed scat, determined that it is a true northern wolf, and that's where it's going to be left. It's a she. It's a female that has been wandering, in theory. For those conspiracy people like me, it's amazing that a wolf will come all the way from Montana, not be seen anywhere through all of Utah, and then stops and does photo ops galore for everybody in the North Kaibab. It is predominantly unfearful of humans, stands by the roadside, takes pictures. Everybody's gotten photos of it. Every member of the commission saw that wolf and watched it for a period of 10 minutes while it stood 150 yards from the road and looked at the vehicles that they were in. But that animal managed to come all the way from Montana or Idaho without ever being seen. And now that collar, which contains vital information as to where this thing really came from, is that animal is not going to be captured by Fish and Wildlife. They just decided to take the scat analysis and determine what it was and leave it alone.
It's a cover-up, JK, and a conspiracy.
Oh, I know that.
My guess is it showed up in the back of somebody's pickup truck.
It took a long ride from Montana or Idaho or wherever it was, quote, raised.
That doesn't happen.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Interesting.
All right, back to you, James.
That's kind of the news that we've got going up here. And, the crappie bite that they're talking down there, it was even worse than the bass bite this past week.
Oh, I bet.
I talked to Kurt Rambo and Ted Morton, two of my favorite guys to get inputs from, and neither one of them caught a crappie. And they just said it was just one of the worst weeks that they can remember for fishing down there at the lake. So not only the bass are being impacted by this run, but the crappie they seem to have disappeared for a week or so also.
The crappie are finicky like that, I feel like.
Fussy.
Oh, they are. They are. The more stable the weather, the better for the crappie.
Yeah.
James, good report. Once again, thanks for doing a great job, and thank you guys for me. Awesome stuff. We'll look forward to talking to you next week, James.
Thank you. Have a good week.
You too. Good report from James. Check him out, Rim Country Custom Rods. Still time to order a custom rods for Christmas. We're going to stand down, take a break. When we come back, we're going to get this thing wrapped up and go to the muster.
Sounds good.
All righty, we're back. We're going to get this thing wrapped up. We've got a muster to get to. And what's the news on the muster?
Basically, from what we're hearing, there's tight security, but it's a great event for the family to go to. They've got all kinds of big rigs there. They have fire trucks, they have Humvees, they have helicopters, they got food trucks galore. It's a great day to take the kids out by ASU.
Yep, it's a good opportunity to thank the guys that are keeping your freedom intact. That's what I say.
Yes, sir.
Well,
we have to salute now. You know that.
Carry on. As you were.
Ooh.
All righty, a couple things you need to know about. if you're a compound bow or traditional recurve shooter, you need to know this. Lookout Mountain, yep, Joey Notch is at it again. They are the new Martin Archery Pro Shop. Did you know that?
Yes, I did, only because I've been badgering him for the longest time about what he was going to bring in on the line.
Well, they've got the totally new redesigned 2015 Martin compounds and recurves in there. They've got Glenn Sheldon, which goes back to the old Wild West archery days, one of the best bow techs ever. He's over there working with Joey. They've got a new archery department, all kinds of cool stuff, and check that out. As well, the expanded line of Explorer Optics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big bore rifle scopes. They've got some really cool stuff. And here's something I probably shouldn't tell you, but I will.
Okay.
The Explorer Optics day-night scopes and binoculars should be in next week.
Day-night?
Day-night. Yeah. You dial them in for the daytime, no light, little light, moonlight, pow!
Green light.
Yeah, you're good to go. Absolutely.
I'm very anxious to try some good night vision stuff.
I am just absolutely beside myself because I call him every Monday. Did they come yet? Did they come yet? Please, please. Yeah. Well, I've got a one weapon designed specifically for night hunting,
which we can do for predator management.
Absolutely. Hopefully, in the near future, from a helicopter.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, man.
Aerial gunning. Oh,
yeah.
Talk about getting your blood running.
Well, that's the theme in Texas. You get up in a helicopter and kill them all, let Ted sort them out. So it's all good.
Predatory management. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Any closing words for Life on a Pole?
No. You can go to my website and check out my latest intel reports. Stripersnatcher.com. Fishing still good.
I told you there was a pole involved.
Always a pole.
Always. But no glitter this time.
Nor brass pole?
No.
Look, you've got glitter in your baits. Don't even go there.
No.
Yeah.
That's as far as it can go this time. Yeah, I've got to really watch what I say and do now.
Yes, you do.
When you get approached,
fishing with a boa, check it out.
You become a man of interest. It can get bad quick.
That's good. Well, you're doing an outstanding job, and I think sportsmen and I'm going to call them Rapala just because I'm an old guy and that's old school. They've done a good thing for themselves, putting you on their pro staff.
Yeah, it's a good relationship. I like to do promotional work, and I like to use good gear, so it's good stuff.
A match made in heaven.
Oh yeah,
nice. Good so, how's your golf game?
I have not golfed. I'm not trying to play no golf.
You don't fish the water hazards?
I'm not trying to play no golf.
No,
Derek.
It's just too boring for me. I know what's going to happen. The ball's going to make me go on a practice Easter egg hunt. It's going to make me go on a nature walk, and I don't want to do that. I walk far enough from the parking lot to the boat ramp.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
stick to what I'm good at.
Well, I missed John Niemeyer. John had a place over on the east side of McCormick Ranch, and the water hazards were, the secret Lake X to test all the Niemeyer lures.
Ninja fishing.
Yeah.
Done that. Many times.
And I know there was a range master sitting over there in the maintenance hut with binoculars because about the fourth cast, the sprinklers came on. I don't care what time of day it was.
Yeah, they're going to find you.
Let's just say it was a fun experience. But anyway, that's about all I've got. I think right now this is a really good opportunity to get out and take a peek at the Arizona National Guard and, again, ordinary people doing extraordinary things for us. Andy Gettle, First Sergeant Andy Gettle, their outfit's getting ready to mob and go to Kosovo for 12 or 14 months. Unbeknownst to the public, we've had guardsmen over there, our guardsmen over there since 1992, 1993.
Yeah.
Flying, medevac and other strategic, gunship support.
Thank you.
All right, whatever. But, I suggested maybe get a different travel agent, and he goes, yeah, He said, you got Kosovo, you got Somalia, you got Bosnia, we're going back to Iraq. We're going to have to do that. Rumor has it we're going to put another 3,000. We already have 3,000 military advisors, quote unquote, and we're going to put some more in there. And hopefully Obama will get a clue and listen to some of the upper echelon military generals and their advice. We need to leave about 10,000 at the Leatherneck base they're dismantling. So I'm afraid he's going to give that away.
More than likely.
Give it back to the Taliban. And then, listening on the Blaze News, they want to, shut down Gitmo and turn all those guys loose so they can go back and fight again. So we can go catch them again.
Catch and release, huh?
I don't necessarily believe in that. Rules of engagement have changed. It's kind of like the Forest Service or the Fish and Wildlife Service. They promised no more than 100 wolves. They broke their promise.
They broke it all. Well, they didn't break it, but they were forced to by the Center for Biological Diversity.
No, John. They said.
I know what they said.
And just because they got pressured by a bunch of Volvo driving, Bergenstock wearing, Starbucks slurping.
Don't you go talking about Sandy Bar like that.
I'm going to send her a Christmas card this year.
I know you
I
do.
just feel obligated. She's just done such a great job bashing the department.
And the commission.
And the commission.
She does annoy a lot of people as
our
well.
way of life. And, one of the things that occurred to me at the commission, there was about 15 people that spoke in favor of having more wolves, lots of wolves every place.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about, the outdoor recreation. What did they do?
They don't do anything.
They don't put anything into conservation is a byproduct of hunting.
Correct.
It's not a byproduct of what they do, what they put into the Pittman Robin Fund or any other damn thing. So,
nope.
Okay, that's why I believe in starting my day every day with Dunkin'. American runs on Dunkin'.
Speaking of food, for those of us who love wild game,
yes,
we have a new client that we're working with, the Wild Game Grill on 24th Street in Thomas. If you want to taste really good food,
really,
go. You've got to try some of the stuff. They have everything, and I'm appreciative of bison, but I also love venison, and they have all of that.
Tatonka steak.
Tatonka steaks are good.
I'm in.
Amen.
Nice.
Derek, God love you, man. Thanks for coming down.
Yes, sir.
Send me your stuff. We'll get it up on the website. Go to the website. Like us on Facebook. Sign up for the newsletter. I'm Don McDowell.
Special K.
With Derek Franks.
And Jennifer pushing buttons. Great job, Jennifer.
As always, Jen, thank you, dear.
Come on out to the Mustard ASU. They don't have a kicker, but they got 7,200 soldiers out there. I'm Don McDowell. Take your kids fishing, hug your bass boat. Yep, we're out of here.
Kiss the West Divide, grab your favorite pole, 'cause me and the boys gonna shake